Taos, New Mexico. Rolling hills, the smell of fresh mountain air, the place of my family roots, where we made our livelihood, the place that will always hold our memories, our history. A Sunday afternoon drive near Pojoaque, New Mexico, in a 1962 Falcon, Antonia Duran Romo recalls her journey. The year was 1898, in a place called El Rancho. A young girl sits in a horse-drawn carriage. Antonia Duran is about to make the 2-week journey to the small town of Talpa in Taos County to be wed to Lucas Romo. She is 14 years old. He is 35. They live with his family. She works hard for them. They are unwelcoming and make life difficult for the young bride. Time moves forward. It is the early 1900s, and my great-grandparents receive a land grant. They move into Los Ranchitos and establish 25 acres. With this new land before her, my great-grandmother, Antonia Duran Romo, mixed the mud of the earth and made adobe bricks, spreading mud and straw over them with her hands. Room by room, our homes were built. As my great-grandfather Lucas was away, working out of different sawmills outside of Taos, Antonia farmed the acreage, growing alfalfa for livestock, some for sale. Through her hard work, sweat, and aching muscles, her fields produced corn, beans, peas, onions, carrots, turnips, cucumber, and squash. Orchards grew full with plum trees, apple trees, apricot trees, and chokecherry trees. She packed her pantry full with canned vegetables, fruits, chokecherry jams, and wine. She milked the cows twice daily, using the milk to make cheese. She sold milk and cheese to the community. 25 cents for cheese, 20 cents for milk. She used remedios that came from the land, punche mexicano, blown into the ear for earaches, boiled sagebrush for tea to alleviate a cold, and lavender for congestion, crushed camphor mixed with whiskey for muscle cramps, yerba buena for stomach aches. During this time of great establishment, my great-grandparents had 5 children: Samuel, Alfredo, Alberto, Alice, and Celestina. La influenza, the epidemic of World War I, took Samuel. Tragedy struck again when Alfredo was in a car accident and was killed when a typewriter flew forward from the back seat and hit him in the head. Celestina, the youngest girl, married a Greek and made her life in Denver. Alberto graduated with a master's degree in engineering from the University of Indiana, got a job at Sandia National Laboratories, and established a family. Alice was their eldest daughter. She married and divorced and had 1 child, my mother, Theodora. Alice worked hard like her mother. She continued to work the land as she worked El Mercado in the plaza and spent the rest of her life caring for her mother. This is the establishment of a land and a family that values hard work and education, who always taught their children that if you want something, you work for it, because your accomplishments are your greatest reward. A family who taught their children to be proud of who they are. Driving along the winding roads of Ranchitos today, the roads are paved. New families have moved into the area. The landscape has shifted. Tourism has brought businesses that have replaced local stores and shops. Outsiders have taken over our landscape, forcing their way in and making it their own. Some families have been displaced, forced to move south to Santa Fe and Albuquerque in search of jobs and opportunity. Attitudes reflect the fast-paced demands of city life. Not enough time to reflect on the past. Barely enough time to remember it. Other families struggle, working where they can to make ends meet, struggling to reopen the doors that have been shut in their faces, all in the name of progression. We must embrace the roots of the past because they guide the future. They mold the people we become and what we choose to do. Memories and stories of the past retold in hopes of preservation. The land has sustained us through generations of hard work, sorrows, joys, and celebrations. We must pay her back by working for her future and nourishing what is before us in the present. A future of plenty should be what we strive for, a future full of traditions and culture that remind our children where they came from so they can understand who they are. Knowledge not taught is dead knowledge. The most precious treasures are not something to be kept on a shelf. My great-grandparents, grandparents, and parents have given me the gift of their history and the responsibility of using this knowledge well, not something to squander. Knowledge is a precious treasure to be shared, to embrace, and to nurture oneself in the ways of your traditions and culture is to embrace the future. Respect the past, live the present, and strive for the brightest future.